Splat. And I've been sitting on this kit for a while. Figured, hey, let's knock out some of the original stash before I start building some of the new stuff. So as usual, just gonna kind of rummage through the box, see what all we get. We're gonna dive into everything with a bit more detail. First thing I'm noticing is that the body is molded in orange. Now I think I'm gonna paint it orange anyway, but I still hate seeing this. Now there is a bit of warpage to these sprues, but from what I could tell, all the parts are still good. Now we do have a multi-piece body here, however it's done very well. From what I could tell, all the pieces are going to line up perfectly with existing panel lines and seams, and it should all just be very well hidden. I've been going over this, and I do not feel or see any mold lines or anything of the sort at all. There is just a bit of flash on some of the edges, but that's it. And I will admit that I looked ahead and peeked at the instructions. All these can be glued in before paint, and that's always a plus in my book. Overall, Revell Germany, which usually leaps and bounds better than just regular Revell, it's still not Tamiya though. Now the chassis, it leaves a bit to be desired. First thing I see is this actual mold separation line running down the center of the chassis. That happens when they inject the plastic down these sprues and it all just kind of melts together in the middle. Now if you use a low quality paint, it will etch that and bring it to the surface, and it will always be visible. No matter what you do, how many layers of paint you put over it, it will always be there. Visible, mocking you. Now outside of the chassis, we got a few other bits and bobs. We got the exhaust tips. I believe this is part of the exhaust system. Not a clue what those are. Outside of that, we just have the control arms. On this sprue, we do have a few more chassis pieces. In the center, we got the main cradle, got the spindles and the little hubs. Nice little steering rack. I do want to bring your attention to these. In all the Revell kits I've built, these are the best brakes I've ever seen. Now, if you're somebody like me who likes to take everything off the sprue to paint it, you'd appreciate that I have everything marked left and right. And naturally, this sprue is also bitten by the plague of warpage. Everything looks to be good though, from what I could tell. From what I could tell, this is every single piece of the interior. Outside of that, we have a few extras like the mirrors, the rear firewall. Now, let's look at these seats here real quick. Now, I will say with all confidence that these look better than every Tamiya seat I've ever worked with. The wipers look great. They're not just one blob of plastic that's supposed to resemble a wiper. The steering wheel and the floppy shifter panel things are all molded very crisp. And there's a little bit of sink mark right in the very dead center of that screen for the center column. I'm really excited about this interior. I'm probably going to start with it first. Maybe. Here we just have our door panels and our different dashes. We also have a very flimsy sprue. Aside from that, we got both left and right hand drive dashes, and the little mount thingies for the license plates. Now, as detailed as this kit is, I was really hoping there would be different moldings here Like, for instance, this entire piece right here, I wish those were separate just to make painting easier. My only gripe about the dash is that the vents, they're going to be real hard to paint. Outside of that though, most of the other parts are molded separately. Shouldn't be too difficult. Now, Revell has always been very good about giving us some highly detailed engines. Now, even on kits like this, where the engine is not all that visible, they still go the extra mile. Now, I will admit I don't know what a lot of this is. It's mainly hoses, ducting. I see the turbos, I see the exhaust, I see the engine halves. I like how the coil packs are oriented correctly, definitely left and right side there. Now, I do remember that I just said I was excited about the interior, but I think I might be building the engine first. So, first impression, the kit has been phenomenal, except for now. These tires are way too thin, the profile is just way out of proportion. The wheels are staggered, but you can't really tell. The spokes are just way too thick. I only took one measurement, but they scale out to like 24 inches. That's way too big for this car. Now, there was an aftermarket company called Plamoz. They just fell off the face of the earth one day, but they were one of the very few people providing aftermarket parts for this car. Sadly, I missed out. I'd learned about this kit way too late. Plamoz had already gone under. I can't find parts for it. So we will make do. Now, as always, Revell does have some pretty decent clear parts. The bag's already open, so I'm going to show you guys what's in the bag. I am just a bit disappointed that they're not pre-tinted or have the black outline like some of the other Revell Germany kits do. But the outline on the windshield, it is there. It's very distinct. Now, the rear bonnet here, I don't know what they were thinking. On a real car, this technically does not open. This could very well be a curbside kit. In fact, I might even glue it in place. Just with the nature and how clear parts are very brittle, I wish it wasn't molded in clear. Aside from that, the parts, they're very transparent, they're very thin, they do look good. Revell Germany, they have always had the best instruction sheets, and I prefer a good book style instruction sheet, so I'm very pleased. Ah, yes, the decals. Might as well give them a look over while we're here. Yeah, it becomes obvious why the rear bonnet was molded in clear, so that we could do this and simulate the vents. I have an idea for that, so we'll come back to that later. The carbon decals, I do appreciate them. I'm probably just going to use them as a template. To me, the weave looks just a little bit too large and out of scale. Other than that though, Revell's always had some great decals. They're a pleasure to work with. Alrighty, so now back to the instructions. Now, I do enjoy a good parts call out just in case anything's missing. So I'm just going to quickly go through, pan this around, show you each step one by one, just kind of give you guys a preview of what we're in for. Remember earlier when I said I peeked ahead and saw that we can indeed glue in every single body panel just to make painting easier? I'd love that in a kit. I am a bit disappointed here. Seems that even though the door's open, you could either display it only open or only closed. The options are either cut off that hinge and glue the door in place, or leave it as it is so the door could be propped open. I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, these doors are going to get glued in place. I feel like something is missing. I'm not really sure what. Bonus content. As I had mentioned earlier, I don't really like the kit carbon fiber. This stuff has a much tighter weave and looks more to scale, so I'm going to be using this. Now, a gentleman on Instagram turned me on to these mesh screens from Wish. It was something like $7 a sheet, but if you bought all 6 as a pack, it was $25. Now, since I had missed out on the Plamoz detail set, I'm going to be making my own mesh using this stuff. Now, if you're using a small phone screen like me to watch YouTube, you probably can't tell, but each sheet has its own different pattern. I think I'm going to go with this one. From what I matched up, this looks to be the most in scale with the mesh on the decals. So we're near the end, and I get a little disclaimer I should probably tell you guys about. I'm in Kansas. It's hot. I probably won't be getting as much garage time as I usually do, so expect just a little bit longer between video uploads.